Wednesday, the 20th of March 2024. It's a day that's going to go down in history because it's the day that the last Coke was made in the whole of the UK. That event happened just less than an hour ago here at Morfa Coke Ovens in Tata Steel's Port Talbot works, and the last oven to be pushed was oven number 38, which is just behind us. I've got with me a few people who've been involved in the closure of the Coke ovens, and I'm going to start. Dean Cartwright, your works manager, Coke Central Iron. Difficult day, Dean.
Oh, very difficult day, Tim. I mean, it was a day really I wanted to be much further out into the future. We had some number of moments over the last month or so really, and we realised that the process stability was getting beyond us, and it was a decision we made responsibly. But it's a very sad day, and I think, credit to the team. They've been absolutely first class. Even knowing what's coming, they've acted so professionally, acted, like we know they are really, a complete unit. They looked out for one another, and it's been executed to this point. There's still a lot of work to be done, but it's been executed to this point absolutely professionally, and I couldn't have asked for more, and I'm happy that we're talking about it today, that it's been controlled and it's all gone to plan so far.
Yeah, and it has been an inevitability for a long time. As soon as society realised the impacts of climate change, that industries such as ours have, the need to reduce our reliance on fossil fuel, and the overwhelming move of the steel industry globally to move towards greener forms of steelmaking, the Coke ovens numbers were marked really, the card was marked. But given that, it's not, the closure today is not a move such that we can move towards electric arc furnace. This is an old asset, it's been here a long time, and it just got to the stage where you couldn't run it anymore. Would that be fair reflection?
I think so, yeah. We were still spending an awful lot of money in maintaining the asset, still putting in a huge amount of effort to keep the asset going. But there was an inevitability, and it was never a question for several months now. It was never a question of if, it was always a question of when.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, as I said, that time came earlier than we wanted, but we took the responsible decision. The asset has been reliable, so the last piece of coke is usable in the blast furnace, and we'll make good use of that coke. It still is our intention to keep the furnaces running as per the plan, and we have a job to do now to source, because as low as the number of ovens in service was, we were still heavily reliant on that coke, and we now have a tough job. The rest of my team have a tough job to find coke of the right quality, get it here in the right amount of time, etc. But the important thing is that we can, I think I'm positive about it, we can maintain a two furnace operation as per the plan.
Nice one, thanks very much for joining us, Dean. And I think a lot of people thought the Coke ovens were going to last the summer, and when the announcement was made at only the beginning of this week, I think it came as a surprise to people, and they may worry about, how difficult it has been to close the ovens in such a short period of time. I'm joined now by Andrew May. Andrew, you're operations manager here at the Coke ovens. Now, like I said, although it's only a few days since the go no-go decision, you must have been planning this for a while, haven't you?
Yes. Been lots of, ups and downs over the last year or so, but yeah, really since beginning of January we started to see a decline in ovens in service, and even though we've been getting ovens back, the rate of deterioration has been too much to try and recover. So yeah, we took a couple of people offline in January just to make have a procedure in place to come off safely. And yeah, over the last 2 weeks or so, we've expanded on that procedure, and the teams have executed that absolutely brilliantly over the last couple of days.
Because what people might not understand, this is not just a case of saying, listen, push the ovens one by one and don't refill them and then turn the gas off. Effectively you're running a petrochemical plant here, aren't you? And the amount of preparation, I'm guessing, in terms of electrics, in terms of gases, in terms of byproducts, in terms of environmental care, in terms of the safety of the people, in terms of making that plant work. That isn't a plan that comes together in a couple of weeks, is it?
No. So there's about a 40-page procedure that we've gone through over the last, 24 hours or so. The start of pushing ovens empty it is just the start.
Yeah.
We now, like you said, it is a petrochemical plant. The real work starts now over the next 14 days.
Yeah.
We have to purge absolutely every single piece of pipework that exists within Morfa.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is great that we've had our first milestone today, but yeah, the work continues really for the next number of weeks and coming months.
Yeah, well, fair play to you and the team for all that work that's gone on under the water, if you like, and unseen. But I think the result today will prove that all of that work was well worthwhile. Now, I know you've been planning that for weeks and months and years even, but I want to now move to Corey Davis. Now, Corey, you're a production manager here, I think, and I want to talk to you a bit about what the last, like, since Monday, go, no go on Monday, what has the last sort of 24, 48 hours been like for you and the teams?
It's been mixed emotions, really. You know, we've had one site on the end push, but also we've had a task to do in between to get the plant to the safest possible position, really, to take it offline. So we've done a lot of work yesterday day. We had the last charge yesterday day, which really didn't sink in at that moment in time because we still had a lot of work to do and hand over to the night shift then with another lot of work to do last night to get us in the position we are today. So yeah, like I said, mixed emotions. I think it's only really hit me within the last sort of 2 hours, seeing the schedule dwindle down to the last 3 or 4 pushes. Again, I've been on plant for most of that period today, just gathering my thoughts as I walk around the plant and just making sure that we get the ovens out safely as we possibly can and effectively. And seeing the last one go then was special moment. One that's going to sit with me forever. Wasn't a nice feeling, if I'm completely honest, but you know, it was always going to come to an end with the business announcement. I'm just glad that we've got everybody off safely.
Yeah, so I've been here all morning, and what I've noticed and struck me is that people are going about their business knowing they had a job to do to bring the ovens off safely. And it was only really at the end, as we stood out the back and saw the last push, the silence really struck me, and all the guys going around and picking up a piece of Coke at the end of the day. You know, people might struggle to understand how or why people have an emotional attachment to a big bit of manufacturing kit like this, but they do, don't they?
Yeah, you know, working with the people down here over the years, all my time through an apprentice all the way through to where we are now, you know, we're like a family, if I'm completely honest. We've got a real good working relationship with all involved. When we go out in the plant, always stopping to talk to people and having a chat with people. Yeah, difficult time. Seeing everybody out on the dump off there for the last one as well. I got the silence as well. It was an emotional time, to be honest, you just gathering your thoughts. Nice to see everybody's had a little bit of Coke to take home with them as well, which is good. You know, it's a memory at the end of the day, and this has been a big part of many people's lives over the years as well.
Yeah, and I'm just going to finish with one last story, which is the guy who pushed the last oven. Yeah. Tell me a bit about Terry Lation.
So, this story didn't really come to light until yesterday. So a couple of the operators pulled me and said, have you heard about Terry Lation? So Terry's been here all my working life. Again, I thanked him today personally because he's been an absolutely superb operator for me over the years. He taught me when I came in, trained me up, and as I've gone through the ranks then, Terry's been on my shift for long periods of that as well, and he's been absolutely superb. Proper operator, never had to call in, he would always know his way out to get out of an issue. But I asked Terry yesterday, is it true? So Terry Lation's dad pushed the first oven in Morfa Coke Ovens in 1981, and it's fabricated now and fallen on Terry's shift that he's pushed the last oven in 2024 as well. So absolutely phenomenal story. It's another one that really hits home to us all us at Morfa, and there was no other person that I would have wanted to push that oven out other than Terry with that storyline. Really, it's superb, and we couldn't have fabricated any other way, really, could we?
No, you couldn't. Listen, Corey, Andrew, Dean, thanks very much indeed for joining us today. It's a terribly sad day at the Coke Ovens, but an inevitable day, and it's part, as Dean said, about the move towards a new, greener steel industry. The people and the history of the place will stick around for a long time, and the memories of the place will be around forever. But today is the last day in the UK that Coke was ever made, and all the people here today, I'm sure, will always remember it. So listen, thanks very much for you joining us today. Thanks for all the planning. Good luck for the rest of the work you've got to do, which I know is still significant, and I hope it goes well, and stay safe.